Hello everybody! Welcome to the start of a new vlog. I am in Coney Island right now. It's Crowley's very first beach trip with my sister. My sister is in town visiting with her boyfriend and her son Maverick, my nephew, and we're just having a grand old time this week. So we're here at Coney Island for the day. Today's Tuesday. We are getting the stuff prepared. We brought some beach snacks. I know, isn't it cute? I just bought him a little hat because he's too little to have sunscreen yet, so I bought him a little hat to stay out of the sun, and a little umbrella too. But we're preparing our stuff and getting ready to go find our beach spot. We're here, we've got our snacks, we've got competing musical elements happening over here.
Full service by the beach.
I am back from the day at the beach. My sister, her boyfriend, and Maverick are staying in Coney Island to go to a Brooklyn Cyclones game. Hello. And Crowley and I came back, and now Andrew and I are playing, what's the board game that you decided on?
Seven Wonders Duel.
Seven Wonders Duel. Oh, we played this one at, this is one we brought to Cancun, yeah. So Andrew and I are going to play this lovely game. Lip update. It's focusing. It's like completely turning black where they lasered it now? Question mark. So I hope that means it's working. We'll see.
I'm gonna have to remind me how to play this because I don't remember.
Are you gonna play? You to tell me what Daddy has? Tell me all the secrets.
Don't turn away from me, Crowley! You're supposed to help me!
Okay, choose a first player. You move it over here, I lose $2. If you move it over here, I lose $5. These are, that's the, I got 3 victory points. I got a soldier, and I blow up one of your.
No! That's fine. But I do need that! How did you do that? Bricks. I managed to win the board game, which is exciting because I feel like you are definitely usually the winner between the two. I am not very good when it comes to playing new games. And once I learn the game and I've played it a few times and then I can like adopt some strategy or like learn strategy, then I'm okay. But if it's a new game, I'm terrible, and I also don't like learning new games at night. I am definitely a morning person, so by the end of the day, I just do not want to learn something new, unless it's like sewing, actually. Even if it's a pattern I've not sewn before, I'm okay with that, but I don't like learning new board games at night. One of my toxic traits, I guess. A couple packages have arrived, some patterns that I was ordering in my last vlog, so I don't know why I'm like cradling this, it's a tripod. A couple of the patterns that I ordered have come in, so I'll show you that.
Oops, sorry.
You're in the cabinet right now because that's like on my eye height. But right now I'm gonna give Crowley his bath and put him to bed while Andrew is cooking for us. But I thought maybe you might want to give him a rundown, a very quick overview of what you're making.
There is no quick overview of what I'm making because
I'll just show you the kitchen carnage. This is Andrew when he cooks. I am the kind of person that's like, when I'm cooking things, I put things away as I go. That is not Andrew. His
I
process
cook like a
is
tornado.
very, not even cooking, like even our creative processes for anything really, if we think about it. Because like with sewing, I'm very much clean up as I go. But with your creativity, it's very much like a tornado goes through. And then after he's done, then he'll pick it up and then tornado again. It's kind of, but anyway, some sort of Turkish eggs something, right?
Yes.
That's what you're making?
Normally we have a meal plan, which I'm sure the viewers of the show will be familiar with the process. But we have guests this week and we didn't make a meal plan, so this is on the fly.
Yes.
I am just going to whip up
a casual masterpiece?
the greatest meal of our lives.
Alright, that's my cue to go give Crowley his bath. I'll see you guys in a bit. I wasn't vlogging at the time because it was last year, and as I mentioned, it was really busy last year. But for our vacation, we usually go on a vacation in September, and for our vacation we went to Istanbul and to Paris. And one of my favorite things about Istanbul was the food. Like, I think I could eat Mediterranean food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the rest of my life and be happy. But in particular, Turkish breakfast is essentially a huge, like traditional Turkish breakfast, is a huge spread across the table of like half savory and half sweet little mini dips of things, and then you get breads to dip it in, and then they have other like bigger traditional things like what they had like shakshuka. Am I making that up? Or something like that. It was like
shakshuka you had to order, but there was like a
sauteed peppers and meats thing that was in the middle that was bigger.
There was a huge variety.
Yeah, it was a ton. Like
it covers an entire tabletop.
Yeah, and how many little bowls do you think there were of things?
50.
50? That may be a lot. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I was gonna say 30, but that's probably estimating on the low side actually. So like there are a lot, and it was really, really good. Good morning, everybody. I'm in the craft room. I'm home alone with Crowley for the day. I get him all to myself. I think Andrew is gonna be home early from work today though, so that'll be nice. My sister, her boyfriend, and Maverick have gone out for the day. They are gonna go see the Statue of Liberty, and I think that that's it. I think they're gonna also go see a show tonight, potentially. So yeah, so that's gonna be fun. But I've seen the Statue of Liberty many, many times at this point, so I skipped out on that one. I wanted to show you the two patterns that arrived of, gosh, how many did I order? I think 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6 vintage patterns that I purchased on eBay. So the first one, and this one was the most expensive one by far, and I can see why. It's honestly a gorgeous corset. I really need to stop buying corset patterns, says the girl who has like probably 3 more on my simplicity.com shopping cart while I wait for a sale to go on. Because I really want to learn draping. I did my first attempt at draping for frock tails last October, and it turned out so well, and I've watched a lot of videos and tutorials on how to do it. So I really, really want to get into draping because I feel like that is something I'm just really going to love once I get the hang of it. So, I mean, I have a dress form. There's no reason why I shouldn't be, but I like buying patterns too. So it's a gorgeous corset. It's Vogue 7427, and it's extremely low cut, very low cut. I wonder if that's just the sketch or how it's designed as well. I should look up projects to see if there are any that have been made on Instagram or shared on Instagram so I can see, but I think this is stunning. I'll make this for myself, not just for this wedding dress project that I want to do. And then the second one, this is from Style Patterns. I honestly have not heard of Style Patterns before searching for this wedding dress thing. I guess it's one that's gone out of business, maybe? I don't know, maybe you guys can tell me. There's the logo right there, Style Patterns. It looks like it's in a Big 4 envelope, so we'll see. But I bought it specifically for, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it very well, but the style, the design of the skirt, I liked the draping on the front of it. I thought it was really neat. And there's like, it looks like a skirt that has kind of an overskirt attached to it. So this one is more fitted, like in a flute shape, a fluted skirt right here with like an overlay, and then one is like chapel length, it looks like. And yeah, I'm not exactly sure. What are the differences of the, oh, I think one has like applique flowers, and I also thought that was neat that it has these like, not applique, but just like flowers that you make out of fabric right here. So I'm hoping that's in the pattern. It doesn't like specifically call that out on the back, So yeah, I'm hoping it teaches you how to make those flowers too, because that would be cool to learn how to do. But I bought it mostly for the design of this draped front skirt, which I thought was kind of cool. So those are 2 of the 6 that I have ordered. I'm in the craft room, as I mentioned, right now. Hello.
Hello.
Andrew just got here. He's back from
Holla.
work. There he is.
I have a head, I promise.
I think Andrew and I are just gonna have a crafty rest of the day in between Crowley snuggles. I am back to working on my corset project. I just had Andrew help me with some fitting, so I was like trying it on and had him pin where I want to take it in and where I want to let it out a little bit, because there's so many seams, there's like lots of good options. So one of the main problems I'm having with it right now, and it's been so long since I made the first one that I don't unfortunately remember anything about what I did to that one, so I didn't like make any notes. But one of the issues I'm having with it is that these are the straps for the back, actually, so because it's a button up. And the straps are wanting to like fall off my shoulders, so I need to take it in a little bit so that the straps move in further towards center back, which of course makes a wider gap at the front, but that's okay because I'm going to be making a button placket anyway, so I'm still going to be adding that piece. There's still quite a bit of fitting left to do, so once I take the center back in where I had it pinned to move the straps further into the back, then I will move on to the center front where I'll add the placket, but I'll still need to do some fitting around the bust area to like take it in a little bit over to like the princess seam that falls over the bust. So basically like taking it in a little bit and down to nothing at the bust apex, and then that should be good. I'm taking notes as I go so that once I start sewing the lining, that I can just execute the same changes that I've made from the get-go that I've done to the main, so that hopefully won't take too long once I finish fitting this. But it's all part of the process. If you've never sewn anything before and are interested, just go into it assuming that nothing is going to fit you like straight out of the packet. It's often going to need adjustments. Patterns are designed to fit A, fit models of the brand, but B, to try to fit as many people as well as it can, and our bodies are all so different that of course it's going to require modifications to get a perfect fit. And of course even our own bodies change on a day-to-day basis, much less months and years in between. So I'm doing the best that I can. Just a side note, because I was thinking about this the other day. How often are you guys replacing your like ironing board cover? Because I feel like, I mean, I sew a lot. Keep in mind I sew probably at least every like other day or every 3 days, if not every day, and I feel like I have to replace mine once a year at least. And like, it's not threadbare, but it gets so, the padding gets so squished down that it's like metal that it's ironing on, and it just seems like a lot. Is once a year a lot to replace an ironing board cover? How often are you guys replacing your covers? I would love to know, because my ironing board actually was one that I got like from the sidewalk gods, as I refer to. So in New York City, whenever you just like don't want something anymore, often rather than donating it or having like a yard sale or anything like that, if you just want to give it away, you just put it out like on the sidewalk and somebody will come and get it and take it. And so that's how I got my ironing board, was from someone who was giving theirs away on the sidewalk. So maybe it's the ironing board itself that is wrong. I don't know. It's very wobbly. I honestly could do with getting a new one, because obviously I sew so much, so it'd be nice to have something that was a little bit nicer and more steady than this, but maybe that's how all ironing boards are. I don't know. Give me your thoughts on ironing boards and ironing board covers. Would love to know what you think. have sewed the center back seam again, according to what I have pinched out. And I started to cut the button plackets to now close what is a wider center front gap. But I just realized that I can't sew these plackets until I get my elastic looping for the center front. I need to be able to install that into it right now. So that's kind of a bummer that I have to wait. So I guess this project is going to be on pause until that elastic looping comes in. Hopefully it won't take too long, but I haven't received a shipping notification yet from Etsy, so we shall see. That's the worst, when you like want to work on a project and you don't have the thing that you need for it.
Tell me about it. It's Saturday. I'm in the craft room and unboxing a couple small packages that I got. So for my corset, I couldn't continue working on it anymore until I got the elastic looping that I told you that I ordered. I ordered 2 different ones, but this one is definitely the loops are way too small. So I think this is going to be the one that I go with. I think this one's pretty perfect. I wish that the loops were spaced a little bit apart. I might even see if I can experiment with a small section, because this is more than I need. Experiment with the small section and cut out every other loop, just because I don't need this many, but I'm not sure if that will weaken the overall elastic thread, like if I'll be able to pull out the loops on the others, so I'll have to see about that. But yeah, and the color match is spectacular on this. It's a perfect match color-wise, so that's great. And then I also got another one of my vintage patterns that I told you that I ordered for my wedding dresses and wedding adjacent projects. Get a pair of scissors. Let's see which one this is. There's one in particular, this isn't it, but this is cute. There's one in particular that I'm really excited about and want it to come in because I'd love to use it just to make a top for myself. But I don't even know that that one's shipped yet. And isn't that just the way that the one you're looking forward to the most takes the longest to get here? But this is a McCalls Alicyn exclusives, Alicyn. I've never heard of this designer before, but when I was looking for wedding dress patterns, there was a series of patterns designed by this Alicyn person. I don't know. I'm not familiar with those, but apparently she does a lot of wedding dress designs for Big 4, or what was then Big 4, but it's now Big 5. This pattern was designed in 2002, and I really loved the bodice on this one. I don't think I would do the sleeves, but I like the scoop front and the panel, and then the kind of corsety like features underneath it. I just thought that bodice was really neat. It's actually very similar, if I think about it, to the By Gracie Steele. I think it's called the Frolic Frock, if I'm remembering correctly. So there's a lot of similarities to that if you like this style of bodice for some reason but want an indie pattern instead. I think I actually have the Frolic Frock as well. But yeah, so I have 2 of these now, or not 2 of these, but 2 similar patterns now to compare, which will be fun. So yeah, I'm excited about that. The one I really want has this like fully ruched bodice, and it's really gorgeous. So I'm excited for that one to come in because I think that will be a fun top to make. My sister left this morning. I'm feeling a little sad about it because, you know, I just wish that she and I lived in the same like city. That would be so ideal. I'm glad to have my apartment back, but missing her. She just sent me a funny text message, so Yeah, so anyway, so this morning I'm gonna get back to working on my corset project. I've cut out the center front plackets on the red side. I'm gonna cut the placket for the lining side. And then start attaching these loopings and do some more fitting from there. If you can hear my voice, not feeling the greatest right now. I just got like bad like colds, I guess, starting from last night. I don't know. My throat hurts and my voice sounds very froggy, so not feeling the best and just kind of taking it easy for today. I will say that has been the #1 worst thing for me about pregnancy, recovery, postpartum is like, I used to be somebody who never got sick, like never. And then right after I had Crowley, it's just like any little thing would blow up into like the biggest thing because my body was struggling to repair itself from pregnancy, but then also couldn't keep up with like keeping me well. And so it's just like the smallest things now, whereas I never used to get sick and now I get sick so easily lately. So I'm sure it will pass, and I know it's just like my body is trying to heal itself, but it is a really frustrating aspect of postpartum is that like, yeah, the smallest thing, I get sick easily and the smallest things blow up into like the biggest things. So, oh well, it is what it is. Good morning, everybody. It is a new day. I left you yesterday talking about how I wasn't feeling great, and then after that I was just like, you know what, no, I'm gonna go get into bed. So that's what I did, and I stayed in bed for the rest of the day, and wonderful Andrew took care of me and took care of Crowley as well, which was lovely. Today I'm feeling much better, not 100%, but at least not like I'm on my deathbed like I was yesterday. We made our meal plan, our grocery shopping list, and now we're headed to the grocery right now to get the supplies for the week. On the list this week we have a fisherman's stew and homemade bread and a Caesar salad. That's for today and tomorrow. Tuesday we're doing a chicken Milanese with foiled and broiled veggies. So we're probably gonna do like cherry tomatoes, zucchini, red onion, yellow squash, and mushrooms. And then Wednesday we're gonna be doing vegetarian burritos with like an avocado ranch dipping sauce for myself. I doubt Andrew will want that, maybe, we'll see. And he's gonna make a pico. And then Thursday and Friday we're gonna make a veggie paella with a like Brussels sprouts side that we are kind of collaborating on. So the menu sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. Hello, we are back from the grocery. Everything is put away, and I am now in the process of starting a homemade bread. It's like a no-knead bread. It's not sourdough or anything like that. It's a really easy, like, good recipe. So I'll leave it linked down below for you if you would like to have an introductory bread recipe. But I'm throwing the ingredients for that together right now. We're doing, as I mentioned, the drunken fisherman's stew tonight for dinner. And then after that, I'll probably head over to the sewing room to do some crafting. Okay, so if you're making this recipe and you're wondering, does my bread dough look correct? It should be very sloppy and wet like this, not kneadable when you let it do its thing for rising. So this is what it should look like. And now I'm gonna let it rise covered for a few hours, 2 to 3, something like that. I forget, the recipe says. Explain yourself.
Okay, we have a dupe. There used to be a restaurant over on 3rd Avenue called Little Neck that had a fisherman's stew, which was mind-blowing.
So good.
I don't normally, you know, well, I give credit where credit is due, but this I cannot describe. I'm not normally hyperbolic, is what I'm trying to say. And this fisherman's stew was incredible, life-changing.
So good.
Unfortunately, we found Little Neck very close to the end of its life. And
it closed like a few months after we
maybe
found
like
it.
3 months after we discovered it. And this is my first attempt to duplicate their fisherman stew, which
it's got like a lot of garlic flavor, white wine flavor, butter, obviously a lot of different seafood
very
in
French.
Yeah.
It's I kind of started with a bouillon base as the base. So this is that. We've got clams, mussels, halibut in this soup.
Oh, and you added some sausage as well to yours.
Oh, yeah, I added some andouille.
And so we also made a Caesar. Oh, sorry, finish what you were saying.
Well, I was just going to say that we made a Caesar salad.
Yes, also made a
with
Caesar salad to go with it.
Scratch Caesar dressing.
And then I made my homemade bread. Hello, everyone. It's the next day. That drunken fisherman stew that we had last night was so amazing. I'm asking him to like put it like together, like what he changed and basically what he did, so I can make a blog post because it was so delicious. You have to make it. Oh my god, it was so good. So today is the next day. I'm in the craft room, as you can see. And I have kind of a special mission. This is my last week of maternity leave, which is such a bummer because I've loved getting to spend this time with Crowley. I do miss my coworkers and I do miss like the personal fulfillment that I get from my career, but it's been nice like having this bubble of time, and I wish that the United States was better about their maternity leave policies, but alas, here we are. I need a place to work. Previously, I used to work at the dining room table in what is now Crowley's room, but of course now I can't use that because he's going to be taking, you know, his naps and such in that room. And yeah, we have in-home childcare, which is really nice. So yeah, we're trying to keep to his schedule and routine as much as possible. But I will be trying to set up a new spot in the house, and I'll show you what that's going to be. So this is the full crafting space, if you've not seen it before. It used to be just mine, but of course, now that Crowley has his own room, what was previously our dining room and Andrew's office is now just Crowley's room. So Andrew moved into this half, and then I get this half over here. So the plan is that I'm going to turn this corner of my half into my new like office area. So I have to like clear out all of this stuff and consolidate it into this corner and into the wardrobe, which holds like all of my fabric and a lot of my big 5 patterns. The stuff that's in that corner over there, a lot of that I can honestly get rid of, except for my additional machines. Of course, I do use them occasionally, but in that bucket in there is kind of, let me turn around so you can see me. In that bucket though, over here is like a bucket of like photography related stuff, like photography props that I use. So like floral wire and tapes and glues and I don't know, there's just like it's kind of a catch-all, but it's mostly photography gear. So my plan is to just see like what's in there that I actually use, because I don't think I have used anything in that tub for like 2 years now. I got really into taking photography classes on Skillshare during the pandemic. I love Skillshare, by the way. That's a non-sponsored thing. I would love for Skillshare to sponsor me, honestly, because I think that would be such an authentic sponsorship. I've been a member of Skillshare for like over 10 years. So if you have not tried Skillshare and you get an opportunity to via somebody who promotes it on their YouTube channel, or they do a lot of like ads with influencers, it is legitimately an amazing platform. I love Skillshare. I have learned so much from them. So yeah, Skillshare, if you're watching this, reach out. But yeah, I've been a member of Skillshare for like 10 to 15 years. Ugh. There it goes. Lucky me, the demo that was supposed to start in January on the building next door is starting now. They're literally demoing and taking down the whole building and building some like bullshit high-rise, which is gonna be fun. Anyway, so yes, Skillshare. I love Skillshare. I've been a member for years, and I took a bunch of photography classes during the pandemic, as that was something I could do indoors. And I have all this gear like for staging photographs and like setting up photographs that I really just don't use anymore. So I'll probably sidewalk gods that, give that up to the sidewalk gods if I feel like I'm not using it, or I'll pack up anything that I think I might want to use in the future for some reason and just like stash it in the basement for now, so I can like open up that corner to store other things, namely my quilting cottons stash. That's like the only box that I have of like my quilting cotton scraps, and I use that quite a bit. I'm gonna take that, put that in the corner, and then those are like all of my knitting project bags, which I also want to keep in here, but maybe I don't need so many of them. We'll see. Or I could find a way to store them in, gosh, don't judge me for this cabinet, you guys. I promise it is more organized than it looks, but it is a bit of organized chaos. The top shelf is for knitting supplies, so maybe I could like fold up the project bags and store them over there. Yeah, so I think I could probably find a way to get those knitting supplies into there on the top shelf, and then the quilting cottons I can find a way to get into that corner where the photography supplies are now. After that, it's going to be a matter of just like clearing off the contents of this desk, which this is not really as messy as it looks either, but it's still going to take some time to get it in tip-top shape. And then I will have this amazing little desk area. God, I have so many beautiful yarns in here. They just tempt me every time. I don't know, I'm not in a knitting phase of life, but for me it's like never say never. I knit occasionally and I enjoy it when I do. Shout out to the Clark socks, my first ever pattern that I designed. My mom, I actually, believe it or not, I do not have a sample of the Clark socks for myself. I gave the sample to my mom, and then I started to knit myself a pair, and then I just never finished it. But yeah, these are a very special pattern to me because they were my first ever sock design. I just love socks and I love knitting socks. So yeah, Clark socks were my first ever design, but my favorite design is definitely the Irving socks. I wear those all the time. I love the look. And yeah, I'm almost finished knitting a second pair of Irving socks. Also, as I'm putting stuff away, I just wanted to show you guys this amazing Woolberry set that I got a long time ago. I knit myself a Olmsted hat in this red colorway because Andrew stole my original one. An Olmsted hat is another one of my patterns. It's like a really fitted beanie, and I love that pattern. It's just a broken rib beanie. It's really simple. And Andrew stole that hat and I loved it and I loved the color, so this was the closest I could ever find to that original color that I knit my original one out of, which was like an O-wool yarn. And O-wool, RIP, has gone out of business. But I saw this Woolberry colorway and it was so similar, like this really tomatoey red color. It's gorgeous. And then while I was ordering this skein of yarn, I got 2 skeins, by the way. I've already finished knitting the hat, but I got another skein because I thought it would be cute to make Crowley a matching hat at some point, so I'll do that. But she had this set called Santa Baby, and I'm sorry for showing you something that you likely can't get anymore because I believe this was a seasonal set and she's not like releasing this right now, but it's called Santa Baby and it has this really cute collection of colors. It's got this like blush pink, again this tomatoey red color, this kind of browny gold color, a mauve, and then this icy blue, and I just think this would make the most adorable striped raglan sweater for Crowley. I'll probably cast this on sometime in the fall for him for this upcoming cold season, and I don't think this is going to be enough to knit him an entire sweater. Maybe it would, but I don't know. My idea was just to like stripe the raglan and then knit like the rest of the sweater in a solid color, maybe red or maybe like a cream or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens when I get to it, but I just love this set of colors for a striped sweater. I think that'd be so cute. So as I'm clearing stuff out, I just found a bunch of toys that I made for Crowley. So last fall and winter, I didn't really sew clothes, but I sewed a lot of just like other stuff, quilts, and then like toys for Crowley and stuff like that. I made this adorable goose pattern. We refer to him as Goose Willis. Thank you, Candace Transitory, for your name contribution. It is absolutely perfect. He's so cute. This is a pattern from White Couturier Linen on Etsy, and it's bigger than him probably. Actually, he's probably about the same size as it now, but when he was first born, no, there was no way. So maybe he'll want to play with it now. I don't know, but right now it's just a crafting room mascot. But I did make these like Freck Studio like food toys. So I have this banana. This one actually stays in our diaper bag. I just went to go get it because it's like the narrowest, so it's easiest for him to hang on to. And as I was making them, I really wanted to print mix with different fabrics because I just thought that that would be a cute effect. So that's what I did. So there's the banana. I made a few pairs, and this one has like a different fabric on the underside of the pear leaf. I made a few pairs actually, I think 2, maybe 3. So here's the second pair. Here's an orange that I made. So it has like the striped fabric here, and then this fabric on the underside. And then this orange, which is just so adorable. And this orange, this fabric was actually my Mama's fabric. I got a lot of fabric from her when she passed her things on to me, so that one's special. And then a couple of lemons. This one's just a basic lemon, so I thought it was a little too basic, so I made the sexy lemon. It's like this lace that I layered on top of it, and I think it's really cute. So yeah, I made a bunch of toys and stuffies. He hasn't really played with a lot of them yet, except for the banana occasionally, but they are quite adorable. Okay, I have been making some really good progress. The entire area essentially is cleaned out now. I still have to fit this over there and go through the photography box, but I've gone through everything over here. All of the knitting stuff almost is in that cabinet like I mentioned, except for my in-progress projects and my mini skeins collection. I don't really want to put my mini skeins in that cabinet because I don't have anything to protect the yarn, and I have found moths in that cabinet before, so I'm not going to take that risk. Somehow in these bags over in this corner, the moths have never discovered it, but I just don't want to take any chances in there, so anything that goes in there is protected for sure. So I guess now my next steps are going to be to like really thoroughly vacuum out this area and then start replacing things in here that I don't mind having over here full time. So I'm going to take a little break now because I'm hungry. This week for lunch, I'm making a Chinese chicken salad. It just sounded really good and refreshing. So it's gonna have like the usual suspects, romaine, baked chicken that I'm gonna put on top of it, mandarin oranges, toasted almonds, crunchy chow mein noodles, sesame seeds, cilantro, cucumber, scallions. I'm not sure if there's anything else. If there is, I'll put what I put in it in the description box below. The lunch was absolutely delicious. 10 out of 10 recommend that salad. Amazing. I am in the craft room working on cleaning it up. It has to get worse before it gets better. But this corner, the office corner, is looking good. We're making progress. This corner, I've gone through that photography bin. It's now empty and is holding my mini skeins and my seeds for the garden. My quilting stash is over there. So yeah, I just kind of have to like shuffle things around until I find space, but it will happen. Progress is being made. Hello everyone, it's the next day and I have finished my like office craft room transformation. By the way, the very last of my patterns arrived, of the vintage ones that I ordered for this future wedding dress project. I've got, sorry, I have a cough drop in my mouth and I hope that doesn't annoy you too much, but it's better than me like coughing in your headphones or TV screens, wherever you're watching me right now. Butterick 6533. And it's just like a very simple sheath dress, which I think is going to be a great base to use for some of my dress design ideas. And then the #1 pattern I was most excited for, and of course it arrives last, is Style Patterns 2901. And I got it because of this ruched bodice right there. I'm just so curious to see how that's drafted. I'm sure it's just gonna be like an extra long bodice that gets gathered up. Like, I'm sure that's how it's gonna be, but I just wanna see like how much length the pattern piece has compared to how the final piece looks. So this is the one I kind of wanna try out just to make like a cute summer top with. I think this would make such a cute tank top. I haven't quite decided like how I want to close the top. So like if I do this in the front, what will I do in the back or the side seam to be able to get into it? Like, is this a zippered garment situation, or is it maybe I sure the back panel to get in and out of it, but then will that affect the gathers look on the front? You know, and I actually don't know too, like, is this gathered bodice happening over a corset to give it stability and structure? I don't know. So I need to like dig into the pattern to see, but I was really intrigued by this bodice. It was my favorite one, the one I was like most excited for when I ordered these patterns. So yeah, these are all the patterns that I ordered, and I'm sure at some future date I will start this silly project. It's not silly, but I'll start this project that I'm really excited about. Hello everyone, I am in the Black House garden, the back garden right now, and today is going to be a garden cleanup day and also a seed sowing day. It's already the beginning of June. I have not sown any of my like late summer, early fall seeds yet, so I've got all of those in this bag here. We're going to do that together. We're going to clean out all of the foliage from the spring bulbs that is done. Gonna deadhead some roses. It's just time to get this garden into tip-top shape for the rest of the season. So let's go ahead and get started on that. I should probably go and get my gardening hat, but yeah, I left it upstairs. Before we really get in, just a moment for the roses. Teasing Georgia has been absolutely incredible this year. And look, my clematis is blooming over there. Very exciting. Munstead wood, oh, so beautiful, so beautiful. And Wild Eve, that's the pink rose right there. She's also been amazing. Oh, tea clipper, one of my absolute favorite roses, and it's so sad that David Austin has discontinued it. Also time for a big weeding session because as you can see they are taking over. But yeah, this is a secret garden for sure. Okay, came back inside for a hot second because I need to swap my coffee for water. It's getting hot outside. I need some sunscreen. And I also need to send some patterns to be printed. If I haven't made it abundantly clear over the years, I do not tape together PDF patterns. No way. It's just I cannot utilize my time in that way. It does not spark joy. So I prefer to get my patterns printed at a copy shop, a local one to me, using like the A0 copy shop files. And I have 2 that I want to send to them right now because Andrew also needs to get something printed for one of his projects today. So I'm going to upload 2 patterns that I purchased. One of them I purchased yesterday actually because I knew I wanted to make it soon, and one I purchased a while ago. The Just Patterns Enos dress, I've been wanting to make that for a while, and the Lizzie Studio, I think that's what it is, Lizzie Studio Bella dress and top. I'd honestly love to make both, so I'm going to upload those now, I think. So I've been eating my lunch and I turn around and notice this on Andrew's computer. My husband, ladies and gentlemen. finally getting around to sowing seeds. It's the next day. I'm sorry this vlog is so disjointed, but I feel like you guys would rather have a vlog than no vlog, even if it's just, you know, all across several days. And that's just my life right now this season. But I'm sowing some seeds. I'm in the greenhouse. It's one of those things where it's like, in order to make a mess, you have to clean up a mess. My greenhouse is absolutely filthy. On the outside, I just like kind of swept up the interior leaves that had blown in during autumn and winter. But the outside is absolutely filthy and I really need to clean it, but because of its positioning, it's just hard to get to it. So I need like, I have a long broom to like clean with, but I need like a soap solution and to, yeah, like clean the windows because I'm sure the sun can barely peek through. Anyway, I'm excited because I'm finally sowing some seeds and I'm pre-moistening the soil. That's a pro tip if you don't garden, is if you're sowing seeds, pre-moisten your soil, because otherwise it's so dry that when you go to water your seeds, the water just runs off immediately. So and it will wash away your seeds, especially if they're small. So yes, I'm pre-moistening some soil to fill some seed trays and to sow some things before I would end up planting them out. Some things I'll direct sow. If it's something I'm not familiar with, I like to sow in seed trays just so I can like know how to identify the seed, then I don't accidentally pull it up thinking that it's a weed. I have nasturtiums, sunflowers, hollyhocks, poppies, although it's probably too late for poppies, but whatever. Actually, if it doesn't germinate this year, it's fine. It'll stay in the soil and germinate next year, probably. This plant called Snow in Summer. I've never heard of this. Have you? I've never seen it before, but I saw it and got it. Radishes, just because I want to grow some radishes for quick eating. I might just grow those here in the greenhouse. And then I also have German catchfly blue angel. This is such an underrated plant and I hear nobody talking about it, and I bought it on a whim from Select Seeds and it's so beautiful. So I just want to plant this in a pot on its own and just let it do its thing. It's so gorgeous. Feverfew, dahlias, this dahlias from Seeds, the floret breeding ones, China asters, black-eyed Susan vines, cosmos. I want to do like a big pot of cosmos out there. And then I did bring all of my foxgloves, but I really don't need those anymore, or at least I don't think so, since they've germinated all over the walk and I can just hopefully transplant some in. I lost quite a few of my short front of border grasses. This is my favorite one. It's called Stipa tenissima and it's feathergrass ponytails, and they're just short. They are not perennial in my zone technically, but because of climate change and such mild winters that we've been having, generally they've survived the winters just fine for the past couple years. But this year I think all but 2 of them died, so I want to sow a few more. I've never grown GM before, but I'd really like to. I don't even know if it's the right season for this, but we'll see. I also brought pansies out here, some zinnias. Cannot wait to grow these from the Floret breeding program. And then I brought rose campion out here, which looks like this. So that's the plan. Some of this, like I said, I'll just direct sow, and then some of it I'll sow in the greenhouse right now. This is the end of this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As I mentioned, this is my last week of maternity leave, so I'm back at work next week. Hopefully I will be able to keep to a regular schedule, but if it's like a little bit rocky at first or irregular uploads, I apologize in advance. I'm shooting for every other Wednesday is like my goal right now, but we'll see how that goes. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.